Check, check, 1, 2. Oh, okay, cool, awesome, sounds great. How does it sound to you guys out there? Sounds okay? Fantastic, all right.
If you all showed up to this poetry writing event without something to write with, your pen's here, and paper over here, so if you need
Okay.
you're a senior. You need a pen.
That's a good stuff.
New poem. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. So when I say I'm fine, sometimes what I mean is, no, seriously, I'm fine. I'm good. I'm okay. But sometimes when I say I'm fine, what I mean is your shoulder looks too sharp to lean on. I'm worried that you'll cut me and drown me in whatever I spill to you. Sometimes when I say I'm fine, what I mean is I don't trust you with all of my weight. You can't skip leg day and expect to hold all this grief. Or what I mean is I want to explode. I am exploding. And exploding is just the beginning. I was born the same year Chernobyl happened. My depression is nuclear. You may enter into this conversation as an empath, but you may leave an empty corpse. Or what I mean is, you don't want to know, it's not about you. Or you don't want to know, it's definitely about you. Or I have always been the rock, the strong friend you're supposed to check on but don't, and what I've been often is a wall with no boundaries, played parent and therapist to every partner, passerby, friend, family, while still avoiding my own therapy sessions and childhood trauma. My love language is acts of service while acting like I have it all together. What I mean is sometimes what I mean is I love you too much to let you sink into my despair. I know it isn't always healthy, but who said love was always at its peak? This valley is mine. This will be the hill I die under, where others can use me as a stepping stone and learn from all I didn't say. Sometimes when I say I'm fine, I mean I'm alive. And that is all I'm grateful for today. Sometimes I mean I don't know how or why I'm still alive, and I don't know how I feel today. And that is sometimes the scariest response, because it doesn't validate self-harm, doesn't scapegoat my failures as a parent or a husband, doesn't bring my mother back, doesn't close a casket or give closure, doesn't revive her or me, just feels exposed and dehumanizing, or sometimes more human than I'd like to be. It has no definition. And I always need to define or refine or fine-tune or find some way to seem fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. How are you? Work. So, how are you? Are you guys okay? You guys really good? So, what we're going to be talking about today is poetry as an act of resilience, right? It's not like there's a lot of dark and scary that happens in our lives. A lot of traumatic moments. There's a lot of things that bring us down, exacerbate our depression, or whatever, what have you. But you're still here. You're still here. You're still alive to tell the story, and I'm happy about that. I'm happy that you're here. I hope that you will be here tomorrow and many years to come. I have grown very appreciative of my own life, and that's something that I can say proudly because that wasn't always the case. Very transparent about my mental health and this journey, the ups and downs, but finding resilience in an art form that is so close to you. I imagine we have a lot of writers here. Yeah. I imagine you care a lot about your writing and about poetry and about, like writing in general, right? Okay. So for an art form that's so close to you, right, where are you finding resilience in that? Oh, thanks. In an art form that is so close to you, where are you finding resilience in that? So that's what we're going to be focused on. We're going to be seeing some examples of that today. Cool. All right. So let's get into this with a proper introduction. We can go to the next slide. All right, so who am I? I am resilient. That's one thing. So my name is Douglas Powell, artistically Roscoe Burnems. You can go to the next slide. I am a career poet. That is a very handsome picture of me. I'm a National Poetry Slam champion. I've been doing this for a very long time. I'm a Southern Regional finalist. Apparently I am the recipient of the American Academy of Poet Laureates Fellowship Award. I'm a 3-time published author, I'm a father, I'm a husband, and I am Richmond, Virginia's first poet laureate, and I'm very proud of all those things. It's also my way of telling you, like, I know what I'm talking about. So, trust the process, participate as much as you would like to, and let's have a good time. Say word? Word. We can go to the next slide. Oh, so speaking of word, one word check-in. This is normally done with smaller classrooms. Oh, and my alarm is going off. That's not. It is. Also, my phone is supposed to be on silent. Okay, that won't happen again until roughly about 6 o'clock. So, quick one-word check-in. We're gonna make this as fast as humanly possible. Just how are you feeling right now in this moment? Cool. Yeah. Pretty, that's 2 words. What you got? Fine. Okay. Okay, all right. Got Say it again. Work. I love putting people on the spot. All right, just how are you feeling this moment? Boom. Yes. Good. All the way in the back. Thumbs up. All right. Next, right here in the jacket. Yes. Aggravated. Oh, I'm so sorry. I hope it's not because of me. Next one over in the denim. Okay. Wait. One more check-in. How do you feel in this moment? Okay. I'm looking for emotion words, guys. Happy, sad, scared, indifferent, whatever. Curious. Right behind it. Okay. Let's start in the back here and work out all the way to the back.
Happy.
Say it again.
Happy.
Happy, I love it. Let's come up here, right here in this one. All right, let's keep going down. Good. Tired. And the hat here. Peaceful. All right, I dig it. Right here in the middle, this person here in the red. How are you feeling? Sleepy. I feel you. Okay. Interested. I like that. Let's start this out and work our way around. In the glasses here?
Ready.
Ready, I love it. Hungry? Okay.
Horrible.
Horrible. Oh,
Not
okay.
your fault.
Okay, good. As long as it wasn't because of me. But I still feel the need to give you a hug though. That's just how I feel when people say things like that. How about you here? Say it again. Interested. I love it.
Excited.
Excited. You can also be excited.
I am also excited.
Okay. Awesome. Intrigued. I love it. Tired also. Excited. Delighted. Chill. Okay. Here. And also excited. Cool. Did I miss anybody? I don't like missing people. Did I miss anyone? Oh, in all the way in the back behind the partition here.
He wants some.
Exacerbated.
Exacerbated. And how are you?
I'm hot.
Hot. Same. Lights, like heat. And then you just came in. One word check-in. How do you feel? Confused. Yes. Whenever you have no idea what you walked into. You're like, what is this here? Thought you were coming to see a movie. All right. So mostly positive words. We'll go with that. Most 60, 75%. 75% positive words. Good. All right. So let's go to the next slide. All right. So what is resilience? The capacity to recover quickly from difficulties. The ability to bounce back from something. In your writing, try your best to find the resolve or what a resolve would have looked like. This is a part of visualizing and manifestation. It can help you, it can help if you find yourself in similar situations later in life and attempting to achieve more positive outcomes. It's a little cut off at the bottom, but whether it's a real positive ending or an imagined one, creating resolve or feeling a resolve can bring something. So finding the bright side of writing, right? It's cool to talk about all the things that are taxing, but how do we where do we find resolve? So this is also a very therapeutic process for me, just writing in general and sharing what I've written. And in the past, sometimes if it's a depressing poem, then that's just kind of where I left it, because that's just where I was. And if that's where you are, then that's where you are. But I'm encouraging you to try to find what the resolve could look like for you. Where is the positive? Where is the light at the end of the tunnel? All right, let's go to the next slide. Thank you. All right, so quick warm up, quick short little writing assignment. We're gonna do a tanka. Anybody ever heard of a tanka? Awesome, fantastic. So similar in the sense that it's a syllable poem, kind of like a haiku or senru. A little longer, 31 syllables. It's 5 lines. I do not remember how that's normally broken up, but honestly, it doesn't really matter as long as the syllable count is, about right. So 31 syllables about bouncing back from a hurtful experience. So I'll give you a few minutes to think about what that looks like for you, and then start writing whenever you're ready, and we'll check in about. We'll check in about 5 minutes. You don't need a whole lot of time to write this. It doesn't have to be finished. And then I'll get some volunteers to share once we reconvene. Say word? Awesome.
Ready.
All right. So let's go ahead. All right. Flowers may wilt and the seasons may change. Although before May, we all will still grow. Through cold winter, we keep our summer heart. Even those who wilt deserve a new start.
I dig it. Nice job keeping up that rhyme pattern too. Not everybody is able to do that. Who am I on that? Would you like to come up front?
Hi, I'm Cruz. Lungs filled with air, hair on back of neck lays flat. Tension erased from my shoulders, forehead lines no longer prominent. I'm okay.
Very descriptive. And then tell me your name again.
I'm Cruz.
Cruz?
Yeah, C-R-U-Z.
Thank you. Great job, Cruz. All right, you're up next. Oh no, you're good.
I don't know when sister put me downstairs.
Oh no.
Yeah, I have a demon sibling.
Oh man, oh, was not expecting that. It's really hard to transition from that. And your name is?
Star.
Star. Hey, Star. The floor is yours.
Alright. Face raised from the tears and snot-coated pillow. Scream to wind. Banish all that burns me. Break all the bones that keep me stuck. Free myself.
Great job, Star. Thank you for volunteering. Jack. I got that right? What up, Jack?
I usually don't use for traps, or like trick trap stuff.
The new space for you.
I always bounce back. Just give me a second. Only one. One is enough to lay in pity and cry it out.
I love the different types of storytelling that's happening in these poems. You're up. You have fans. What's your name?
Alex.
Hey, Alex. How are you? Okay. The floor is yours.
Stuck in the depths of my mind. Couldn't find the will to fight. Now, on the other side, looking back, I see my strength, for I've survived my past.
I love that last line so much. You guys did an amazing job with this. Was this difficult for anyone? A little bit? The counting the syllables is the hardest part? Yeah. Brevity can be kind of hard when you have these like micro poems and you're challenged to like tell a story, tell a whole story in such a short amount of time. It really makes you kind of reconsider how we use language and at what point you start in the story also, right? Because a lot of times we want to create these longer narratives where we're able to give a whole lot of backstory and we're able to like really delve into the emotional side of the piece and then create and find this climax and this ending. But it's hard to do that in 31 syllables. So it causes you to kind of think about brevity and language and how we use the lexicon in a different way. I love it because it breaks me out of my comfort zone. Like any writer that's written, multiple pieces or been writing for years, as many of you have, sometimes we kind of lean into a lot of the same metaphors, we lean into a lot of the same language, just over time, it just kind of comes naturally. And I love doing warm-ups like this or doing like micro poems like this because it challenges me to use language in a different way, which challenges me to create things that are a little more new to me. All right, let's move forward. Oh yes, there's a poem here. That is me. I am actually gonna just perform this, so you actually don't have to hit play. I'm going to attempt to use poet voice, and so that I don't have to use the mic, it's a more comfortable space for me. Can you guys hear me okay? Yes. Fantastic. Jazz singer, Ma Rainey, she said, white folks in the the blues come out, but they don't know how it got there. So I present to you a timeline of history and music. We went from drum call to call for freedom, from plucking on banjos to bondage on a ship, from djembes to Django. We are survivors. And here we are, crashed on the soil of tobacco, cotton, sharecropping fingers, coarse like their hair, coarse like the lashes on their back, coarse like their pain, harmonized in the key of trauma, or traumatized to the harm of being a minority, looking for the freedom notes, the slave song rebellion anthem mapping north like a Union soldier's bugle, singing a Negro spiritual, like the same fingers that have been plucking the necks of blues and folk guitars had been the same fingers plucking tear-soaked ropes from their necks. Who but us could unravel a noose and turn it into an instrument? Go through hell and make gospel, like fire, shut up in the bones of a burning cross and then baptize themselves in a colored fountain. I mean, who but the Negro could fry up a Jim Crow and feed a nation revolution? To the symphony of the iron hand bigot called America, the pop of police batons, snared justice in the teeth of police dogs. Who but colored folk could find rhythm in a riot, make a Motown out of a march, put a funkified soul fist for freedom, and then when the soul need a break beat, we bass boom and crack walls. We crack glass ceilings. Even when crack babies getting born in a concrete existence, we pump up the volume. We pump up the volume and the veins. Who but blacks could use needles to spin back the hands of time and scratch the surface of a broken history? Who but descendants of the enslaved, now only slaves to a rhythm, could take centuries full of suffering and then make genres full of joy? And rising sounds like black notes on a white page, and they want to know how it got there. We've always taken all the off-key that we've been given to make a resilient medley, and they want to hit the notes. They want to silence the notes. They want to dead the notes. But it is said that you can kill a revolutionary, but you can't kill the revolution. And when you are children of the drum, people can stop the heart, but they will never stop the beat. Questions, comments, anything that you noticed about the piece, anything that stood out to you? And there's another piece we're going to take a look at. We're going to do the same thing. Yes.
Didn't we ever that line go through how it's possible? I love the hell.
The juxtaposition, like going from hell and creating gospels, you know. All right, thank you for that. Anything that stood out? So a little wordplay there, right? Creating different images with the same word. I missed the last part of that. Okay, so a little more relatable because of the what I used as the extended metaphor. Gotcha. Anyone else? Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. You have a hand? I apologize.
It just felt very like a speech almost. And you formed it very well, and I think it was very helpful with that kind of.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for that. So, we're having spoken word artists here. I know we're all writers. Okay, we got a few. Amina, is your hand up? Okay. In talking about like the writing side of it, right? Extended metaphors, find something that's relatable, right, to your audience. The thing about spoken word, particularly here in like the poetry slam arena, you want content that's like very to you, but you also want to be able to connect with your audience, right? Like you want to be able to find a way to convey what's true to you to an audience that's taking this in for the first time. And you want it to be digestible, right? You want them to be able to kind of ride along with the story. You want them to be able to understand it. So you don't want to lose your audience. I mean, honestly, as a writer, you want to do that anyway. You don't want to have someone reading your work and be very confused about what it is you're talking about, right? So not to say that things should be watered down, but you want them to be palatable to some extent. So in talking about something as difficult as racism in America, black death, black plight, when existing as a person of color in this country, this, unfortunately, it's a word maybe, but this softens it a little bit, right? Or nothing else makes it easier to understand if somebody isn't necessarily able to identify with what's happening to somebody who's in the culture. That makes sense? That work? Gotcha. All right, so we can go to the next one. Passive Voice by Angela Palmer. For those who don't know who Angela Palmer is, she's a poet originally from New Orleans, now lives in Northern Virginia. She's a published author. She's actually currently on a book tour. She is one of the top-ranked women in the world. There's a huge competition that happens every year called the Women of the World Poetry Slam. She has been ranked top 10 a few different times, and this is Passive Voice.
After Lucille Clifton, won't you come celebrate with me what I've shaped into a kind of life? I had no model, born in Babylon, both non-white and woman. Witness, all I have survived, how each thing has teeth, lungs, eyes, how all of them assassins of poor aim, how all of them left the way they came. Come see, my molesters as monsters, my bullies, their bruises, my childhood made a pitfall, tried, failed, come see. My poverty like a gut punch, anorexia like to swallow the whole of me, daddy issues, come, they failed. Come see, my alcoholism, my low self-esteem, my rapist and his ghost failed. The black men who would ignore the glory that is this black and strong and woman who only use me for targets for their jabs or their guns failed. And if I'm truthful, it is my mind that has come the closest. So I don't need you to end me. I was born equipped with everything I need to kill me, so I contain everything I need to survive this, to survive you. You, how you brought your petty to my pen game and failed. Stand me in front of a mirror, I'll strike a pose. Sit me in front of my demons, I'll lick his nose. Show me a clock or a calendar, I will show you my
we happen to be very close friends, and so I know a lot of these stories, and so I know how close this is for her, and I know that she also uses this as a therapeutic process, right? This is a freeing experience for her, and so that's kind of what I'm trying to convey to you guys. Like, how do we use this? How do you tell your stories and find that fierceness, find that ability to bounce back, even if you don't see it right away? So just some quick tips for imagery. I don't think you guys are going to need this, but it's a part of the presentation. It's one of the slides, so here we are. Quick tips for imagery. Be descriptive. Give as much detail as you can. I always say lean into the six senses. So we're talking about what? Sight, sound, touch, smell, taste, and feel. And then that feel is not physical touch, obviously, but like emotionally, like what are you holding on to emotionally in this piece and whatever you're writing, and how are you like creating a multi-sensory experience for your reader or your listener? When in doubt, simile. so sometimes metaphors can be really, really difficult. Like, you know what I mean? Like, particularly if you're starting out. And aside from this, here's something that I always tell people about writing and first drafts. And don't go looking for the poem right away. Don't go trying to make it sound poetic right away. There is always time to edit. There is always time to edit. Get the story out, right? What do you want to say? All right, where is the resolve, right? What is the problem? What are you delving into? What's the meat of the poem? Get that on paper first. You can always go back and find a metaphor. You can always go back and edit. You can take away, you can add things. Nothing is written in stone when it comes to writing in general, but especially with poetry. But if you were having a hard time coming up with metaphors, I always say the similes are a little easier, and a little quicker to build those comparisons when you're using such and such, like such and such. Cool, we can move on. All right, so here is the main prompt. All right, it is a poem in 2 parts. I'm actually going to read something that is a product of this prompt. I had it pulled up, and then I didn't. We can go to the next slide. I'll explain it while I'm looking for it. Okay, so this is going to get really intense. Again, participate as much as you would like to. And then, of course, I'm going to ask volunteers to share. You are always under no obligation to share what you've written. I always want to hear your work. I'm excited about hearing your work, but I do understand that these things can become very personal and put you in a very vulnerable space, and I don't want to make anyone uncomfortable. Say word. So, introduce yourself as the thing that almost killed you. Now, this can be as metaphoric or not, as you would like. There is, I'll read it. This is very much a metaphor, as nothing may have almost killed you, but even if something has, you are still here. And again, I am very happy about that. But talk in that voice for a second. Take a moment to write about a thing that made you sad or hurt you emotionally or otherwise, as if you were being introduced as that. How did it hurt you? Why did it hurt you? And then the second part, the second half of this is where we're talking about resilience. Introduce yourself as all the reasons that you are alive. This is not as metaphoric. You are here, and every day that you decide to be here is a great day for everyone you come into contact with. Take a moment to introduce yourself as the things, as the people that make you smile, bring you joy. Try to give at least some detail about how or why these things brighten your existence. I am going to read something fairly short that is a product of this prompt. Oh no, what happened to the slide? Oh, there it is. Okay, so on social media they said, let's play a game. Introduce yourself as the thing that almost killed you. Hi, my name is a car running into me as I was crossing the street. Drive by, duck, they shooting. Driving my own car off the road as I fell asleep. Driving my own car off the road on purpose. Hi, my name is Lacking Purpose, and watching cars drive by while I sit on a bridge ready to jump, wondering which car would impale me like a knife. Hi, my name is Knife. My name is knife to the gut during a fight. My name is knife to my neck during an argument with an ex. Knife to my own wrist. Hi, my name is suicide. 13 pills in a medicine cabinet, gasoline, lighter, and gumption. If I named myself after every time I tried to marry death, I'd have a lot of hyphens. But my middle name would still be, but funny story, and my first name would always be, and I'm still alive. So here's a better game. Name yourself after all the reasons you are still alive. So hi, my name is Wife and Kids. My name is, if my mother can beat coma, cancer, and heart disease, then I can find a reason to smile today. My name is, get your sad ass out of bed. My name is, I tell my students to choose life and I can't be a hypocrite. My name is, I still have something to say. My voice is a victory song. No, the pain didn't always make me stronger. It just showed how strong I already was. Nights may be lonely, but the sun will kiss me good morning. Hi, my name is, yesterday is a memory. My name is, God ain't done with me yet, even on days when I don't believe in God. So, quick. Multiple things that you want to discuss. You may want to delve deeply into one particular thing, but you're starting the ideas that you're starting. My bad, no. Check. There we go. You may have one thing or a couple things that you want to delve into more deeply, and so take this wherever you want. Right? You get poetic license. No pun, or I guess every pun intended. But find that voice, right? Find that voice for these like negative things that have had like such a huge impact on you, right? But then completely turn it on its head, right? What are all these positive things that have you still here and still doing this and still actively like participating in the human experience, right? We want to know what that is. Does that make sense to everyone? Is there anyone who needs a little extra like help, instruction? Awesome. What kind of time are we looking at? 2:51. Okay, so let's do 10 minutes to start, and then I'll do a quick check-in, see if anybody wants to continue writing, and then we'll go from there. Say word. Word. the bad things all the time. Social media has us surrounded by all the bad things that are happening all the time. And we never shift the focus. And the goal in using resilience and finding resilience in your writing and finding those resolves at the end is about shifting the mind to start focusing on the good things that are happening around you, the joyful feelings that are happening inside you, and what causes those things, and how do we keep those things in focus. What else was difficult? Was there anything else difficult? Right. Those, like, our emotions, they trigger physical responses, right? When we get scared, we get a physical response, right, from that emotion. And the same thing happens with excitement, with joy, with peace, with resilience, right? And I'm a firm believer in manifestation, right? Whatever you pay attention to, that's what grows. And so, like, I want to create more of this in my writing, and I want to create more of those feelings in my life, and I want to incorporate that in my art as well. Anything else? Anybody want to add to that? What was difficult, or what was not difficult? Amina? Oh. So this kind of caused you to kind of unpack some things, huh? Yeah. That's a good thing. That's a really, really good thing. And don't be scared of, I know we talk about vulnerability. Vulnerability is, by definition, is like a weakness, right? But like, it takes a lot of strength to be vulnerable. It takes a lot of strength, and a lot of bravery to like open yourself up, not just to people, but to ourselves, right? We pack down things, we minimize, we internalize everything. Right. Right. So kind of piggybacking on what Amina was saying, right? Like we minimize things and we internalize things, and sometimes we don't know like the impact that these things have had on us until we really start writing it out and seeing it in front of us, right? And then you can take that with you. You can take that with you and start like creating some tangible things in your life, not outside of just the writing, and making some real like concrete decisions about how you want to move forward and how you want to move forward in a better place than where you were when this moment, this traumatic thing happened. Anybody else want to add to that? To really vocalize what the thing. Right. Oh, okay. Ah. That makes me think of there's this quote, and I won't insult it by attributing to somebody who may not have actually said it, because it's how memes are, like they'll slap a Tupac quote right next to Abraham Lincoln, and people just run with it. But the quote was, people won't always remember, they won't remember everything that you said or everything that you did, but they will remember how you made them feel. So it kind of makes me think about that, right? It's like I don't know all the details of where this came from. I just know where I am in this particular space. So as you wrote, were you able to like kind of dig into where, like what the genesis of this was, and then how you got to this moment, or where were you in your writing by the time that we finished? Eventually, okay. Do you feel like there's still some more to like process as you continue? Or- I didn't mean to turn this into a whole therapy session, y'all. I'm so sorry. but maybe you needed it. Maybe I needed it. You know what I mean? Like, but we're here. You know what I mean? Anything else? Anybody else? I don't want to like leave anything unsaid before we move forward. Cool, cool. How's everyone feeling right now? Pretty good? Okay? A little bit? All right? Good, good, good. All right, so we have a little time, and I want to close out. Let's see, what is the slide after this? I don't have it up in front of me. Okay, so yeah, okay, cool, cool, cool. All right, so I want people to share, whoever is comfortable sharing. So I'll take as many volunteers, honestly, as we can fit in. So I see 1, 2. I'll tell you what, I'm going to make this easy on myself. Is this blank paper? Awesome. If you would like to share, can I get you to put your name on this list? And then we'll run down the list until we don't have time. And that's how we'll close out. We'll close out by hearing all these wonderful stories and hearing these different voices, and sharing and being supportive of each other, right? And being vulnerable with each other, and being there for each other. Say word. In the meantime, some artist things that I have to do because this, because. So follow me on social media. It's Roscoe Burnems, RoscoeBurnems. Yes, that is what I go by. No, that is not what my mama named me. My mama named me Douglas, Douglas Powell. But that sounds more like a senator than a poet, and so thus Roscoe Burnems was born. RoscoeBPoetry@gmail.com. You can go to roscoeb.webs.com to see the website, see some things that I've done, see some things that I'm doing. I have a show that is streaming currently on Amazon Prime. Thanks. I was really excited about it too. It is called Traumedy. I joked about turning this into a therapy session, but this really is a therapeutic process for me, and I do process my trauma both with my therapist and through my art. And so I decided to kind of do an entire 1-hour special of poetry and comedy centered around trauma and resilience. And how we process those things individually, how we process those things as a generation, how we process those things as a culture, and where I'm finding resilience in that journey. I was a host on PBS's The Art Scene, which is still airing. And then if you're interested in seeing the TEDx talk that I did, it is called Rewriting Masculinity, and you can find that on YouTube. Say word. Awesome. Thanks, guys. All righty. So let's jump into this list. All right, as I call people up, please make sure that you're showing them a lot of love. You're clapping for them as they come up to the front of the stage. It's very difficult sharing and getting in front of people and being vulnerable, right? It takes a lot of strength and a lot of bravery to be vulnerable. Fun fact, public speaking is the #1 fear in the world. The world. Anybody can guess the #2 fear in the world? What is it? Sharks, spiders, what? Heights? Death. The #2 fear in the world is death. I say that to say that public speaking beat out death, okay? Yes, people would rather be in the casket than give the eulogy. So they are being very brave. They are fighting a lot of fears when they're getting in front of people and sharing a piece of themselves. Say word. So we're going to love and support them as they come up here and they share. We're going to listen, and we're going to appreciate them for doing it. Say word. Fantastic.
Hi, my name is Girls Camp, taking summer days in innocence, using sleeping counselors as an excuse that she had forced herself on you, an excuse for why you can cry when the doctor brushes your thighs, or why you lie to your friends when you say you don't want to swim with them, as if the water is the same as the hands that invaded me. Hi, I am Father, who doesn't believe sexual assault is possible if it's not man and woman. Hi, I am Mother's abusive ex who pushed me down the stairs. Hi, I am family stress that pushes till I bend and break my back under the pressure of your expectations. Hi, I am the flowers given to me through smiles. I am the friends who drive miles to come pick me up when Dad forgets. Hi, I am every single person in this room right now who lifts me up and lets me see the light. Hi, I am every poet who writes about the fight with mental health and teenagers. Hi, my name is Star.
That was fantastic. I'm so sorry. What? Feyruz? Okay, Feyruz. Feyruz, y'all, clap it up, please, please, please.
Hi, I'm Feyruz. I know people. You might know me. I'm the freshman class president. I exist. So I'm gonna read this. I didn't title it because I couldn't think of a title. So yeah, it's separated into two separate poems, sort of, with the first being the bad things and then the second being the good ones. So yeah, I'm gonna read. Um, Hi, my name's Undiagnosed Sadness and Demons and Tears. I come in many forms, even your greatest fears. I'm regret, telling you to never see tomorrow. Hi, I'm anger, a terrible trait you borrowed. Hi, I'm your mind whisking away to a place where you can't see the light of day. Hi, I'm you. This is the second poem. Hi, I'm Friends, here to make you smile. Hi, I'm YouTube, here to keep you busy for a while. Hi, I'm Writing, here for you to try. Hi, I'm Stuffed Animals, here for you when you cry. It's been a while, but I'm Books, taking you to fantasy. Hey, it's Religion, bringing you back to reality. Hey, it's your family, here to be a bother. Hey, it's your sister, I'm better than our brother. Hey, it's Tomorrow, mystical as today, begging you to stay.
So, and maybe I just didn't notice it in the beginning. Did you have a similar rhyme scheme in the first part? Sort of. I didn't hear it as it wasn't for me. It wasn't as prominent as in the second part. So I just thought that I love the rhythm. I love the rhythm that the second part had, in addition to being like really joyful. And so there's like things that I love about this. And so you were like, was it like Netflix? It's like a Netflix line there. YouTube. I'm sorry. Pardon me. But YouTube, and then there was books, and there was something else. But it's like the little things, right? It's like the little things that bring us joy, right? Sometimes we look for these like really grandiose things that are happening in our lives, but sometimes I just want to sit like in like Netflix and chill with my wife, right? That just brings me joy, right? Sometimes it's like binge watching on YouTube, right? Like it's just like these little things that like make us smile every day that we just like we kind of write it off as insignificant, but they mean a lot. They really do mean a lot. You did an amazing job. One more time. Ooh, child. Let me see. I'm gonna assume this is this Bree? Hey, Bree. Floor is yours.
Hi,
has no title. Hi, my name is Anxiety, creeping into soul and breaking the mind, clearing it of all insanity, saying you are not worthy, you are not good enough. Hi, my name is Suicide. I give the mind thoughts, feeding it until it's overflowing with the merciless material of dying. Hi, my name is Starvation. I pull in the body and yank out the appetite. I fill the mind with corruptions until it can no longer function without me. Hi, my name is My Mother, giving welcoming hugs and free therapy sessions, making everyone in the room laugh with a simple joke.
Such a good job. So I know sometimes we talk about with depression, and we talk about depression, we talk about anxiety, right? And something we don't know how that manifests in each person, right? And so like you kind of took us into, you kind of gave us a window into what that looks like for you. And I know that was difficult, and I appreciate you for sharing your story. One more time for Bree. And the turn was your mom, right? Was that the turn? The second part of the poem, your mom? Shouts out to mom. Yeah, shouts out to mom. Doing a great job. All right, Alex. Hey, Alex.
My heart is beating so fast right now, y'all. Hey there, I'm Alex's mind. Others rarely see me, so it's nice to step into the light. See, she keeps me hidden, painting on that smile, but inside, I run rampant. I remind her she's not enough, that her friends aren't her friends, that everyone's staring, that the world would be a better place without her in it. I remind her that the bleach is in the bathroom cabinet and that there's a clean glass in the dishwasher. I convince her to pour a glass, but she never drinks. I'm still working on her. So what are your names? I'm Music. I help her drown you out. My name's KJ. I'm her little, and dare I say, favorite brother, who always bugs her to play games that she pretends not to like. We're her parents, to whom she can tell anything, and who'd be devastated to lose their only daughter. We're her friends, who never fail to speak or hug her on a bad day because we can always tell. We are her artillery, weapons against you.
That was so good. That was so good. I love that you built a conversation. So for some people, it existed as two different poems, right? For some people, it was just a turn. This was a battle, right? This was a battle, and your resilience won. Like that's the beauty in it, right? Friends, family. I love that you're like, I pretend not to like these things, but I really, really enjoy it. That's so honest. I appreciate it. Great job, Alex. Show some love for Alex. This next person is gonna be like a doctor or something, cause okay. I think it starts with a Z. Is there somebody in here whose name starts with a Z? No? Okay. Okay. Oh, is that an E? Maybe it's an E.
Oh, it's
Ed. Is that's a manual? I'm holding on to this signature forever because you were gonna be famous. Emmanuel, what's your last name? Sampson. I would have messed that all up. Emmanuel, everybody. Y'all show some love for Emmanuel.
I almost killed me. The thing is, you see, I convinced myself, no. I tell myself, life isn't worth living. No one cares for you. You're just a problem, a failure. Say goodbye, world, because the world would be good without you. You see, I almost killed me because I convinced myself that these words were not, that these words were my own, and not the world shoving a noose down my throat. You see, I almost killed me. I say almost because today I am here with you, with reason, with life, to say that I almost killed me because I almost forgot the fighter within the dreamer and a life to see. You see, I see now my reason that to live is to embrace life's journey.
Yes to this positive self-talk, this realization. I love it. That's like like some people turn, right? Some people had two separate things happen. This was like a blossoming, right? Like this is like, oh, this is where I started. This is the negative self-talk. This is how I got here, right? And then we saw it unfold in front of us, right? How was that realization moment for you? Said tough? Okay, that's honest. But you got there and you did it, and you did it eloquently. All right, that was amazing. Emmanuel, y'all. All right, I think I got this one. Kyle. Hey, Kyle. Come on down, Kyle. We're excited to hear you. Floor is yours.
Hi, my name is the cackling fire that jitters and pops under my seriously burning feet. Yes, it's an uncommon name to say the least, but that's me. My feet are white and raw as we rush to the small town hospital, but that's just me. My name is eating food too far past its expiration date, wherein I made another trip to the ER. My name is also, hang on, sorry. My name is also hearing the heartbreaking news that I was moving, but my name is also healing wounds. In every event that nearly kills me just makes me stronger. Thanks, Kelly Clarkson. I now house I now house burns on my feet that empower me with strength, and now taste buds that can fight off an eternity of bad food. And now my name is friends, my name is family, and my name is experience.
That was great. It was vulnerable, but it was still lighthearted. It was a little fun. There was some fun moments in there, right? That was great. I appreciate you, Kyle. One more time for Kyle. All right, Renee, you are up. Renee, let's go, Renee. Renee's got fans too.
Hey, my name is a slave to fitting in. My name is generic houses in white suburbs, all white but my family and that one old couple who lives a few houses down. My name is being told black hair is ugly. My name is relaxer that lay on my roots, making them forget their pattern. My name is hair down my back because if my hair has to be different, at least it can be long. At least it can be worth something. My name is the black white girl that's digestible and boring. My name is adaptation. I've become who I needed to be for the white kids to accept me. My name is I don't want to conform anymore. My name is I am being saved. Music is my salvation and R&B is my Jesus Christ. I follow my rhythms back to my roots. I do what they call me to do. They tell me to learn to be okay without my hair down my back, so I shaved my hair off and learned to find beauty in my blackness.
That was powerful. That was powerful. And shouts out to you finding like identity, like just in your personal journey, but finding a way to work that into your art. Like you took this into a completely different direction than anybody else did. I think that was powerful and beautiful. Shouts out to Renee. All right, closing us out. This looks like Cruz. Cruz, there you are.
Who am I but the voice that plagues me, stretching my perception like the pants my mother said I would never fit, as if, she said. Who am I but the glass in her words, shattering when they reach my skin like the razor blade that cuts me? Really? She asked. As if she couldn't understand why I do such a stupid thing. Who am I but the knowledge that I'm going to hell for asking a girl to prom, that my flesh will burn for eternity because my mother said so, because I say so. But who would I be if I didn't mention the light in my best friend's eyes, my sister's smiles surrounding me? Who would I be if I neglected to mention the names of those who saved me. Who would I be to forget all the years clean, cut free and unblemished by my own hands? Who would I be without vessels of love, pouring in and out of my veins, washing away the chipped paint others left behind? My heart continues to tap out a rhythm for me to march to because of this love, flowing like a chocolate fountain, sweet and sticky and endless. Thank you.
I love the imagery. Love the imagery. Love that you posed it as a question, right? And we kind of saw these like pieces of what what makes you you. And it was fun, and it was still very vulnerable, and like I really, really appreciated your form of storytelling. Cruise, everybody. Give yourselves a round of applause. That was fantastic. You all are some fantastic writers. I really appreciate all the different perspectives and where you decided to take this piece, whether it was a realization moment, right, or if this was like a hard turn for you, and finding a way to find those positive things, finding a sense of identity in this, and telling who you are. The storytelling was great. I appreciated all of it, and so I hope for those who even didn't share that you continue to write and find yourself in this piece, and find that resilience, and find those positive things that you can hold on to. Say word. Okay, so we have about 10-ish minutes, give or take. Any questions for me about writing, about performance, about anything, really? Anything that you may have? Yes. Yes, I will gladly sign your book after this is over. Let's get through this, and then I will gladly sign your book. Emmanuel. I'm gonna come to you. Say that again. How did I become published? Okay, so publishing. So I'll start with like literary magazines, journals, reviews, things of that nature. So you can submit your work to these different places. The easiest way to do that is a place called Submittable. Has anybody ever heard of Submittable? Okay, a few hands. Okay, good, cool, good. So submittable.com, I think is the website. Cool. So from there, it's essentially like a search engine for all things like writing. If you want to submit short stories, fictional things, and you can like filter the search. So if you're trying to like submit poetry to different anthologies, literary journals, reviews, magazines, et cetera, they are the hub, the most popular hub for all those things. They all list their criteria for what you would need to submit, whether it's number of poems, word count, things that are unpublished, things that are already published somewhere else. They'll give you all those criteria. And so it's a numbers game. Submit to as much stuff as you can. I made I had a goal in 2018 that kind of sparked after a conversation with a poet who kind of lends herself more so to the page than being on stage, who essentially said that spoken word artists can't get published. Their stuff exists on slam stages, YouTube, blah, 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 but the writing doesn't look the same way on paper, and it makes it more difficult. So I was like, okay, challenge accepted. And then that year I set out a goal, and I submitted to everything that I could via Submittable. Looked for things that kind of went in line with my writing. Make sure you read. Make sure, one, that you are reading everything that they're asking for. Make sure you go through the entire listing, and then go to, if they have like if it's like an online magazine, go to their website, see what they've published in the past, to see if it's a good fit for you as an artist, right, or vice versa, or if you're crafting new work, you know what I mean, like. Make sure it kind of goes in line with what their publication is looking for. But it's a numbers game. I submitted to as much stuff as I could, and then in 2018 I got published in 12 different literary mags and journals. But it's you have to stay diligent. You have to be very prepared for rejection, because before I was getting acceptance emails, there were a lot of rejection letters, like a lot, like an uncanny amount of rejection letters. So be prepared to hear no, or not right now, or maybe next time, or submit again, or whatever. That comes with the territory. But try Submittable first, as they're like the main hub for submitting to journals, magazines, so on and so forth. When it came to publishing collections, so I have three collections that I've published, 2 through a press, 1 I did independently. So my first book was more of an experiment than anything else. I found, or I was kind of matched up with, via some friends, with a small press that was based out of South Carolina that were looking for new artists. They were fairly new. They didn't really have a lot of authors that they were working with. This was my first time trying to publish anything, so we were able to kind of just work together. It was a mess. It was an absolute mess, but it kind of gave me the inner workings of what publishing can look like. Choosing covers, finding poems that kind of complemented each other, because you want your collection to feel fluid. You want it to feel kind of seamless for your reader. You don't want it to be kind of all over the place. Don't just grab the last 12 poems you've written and just throw them all together in a book. I say that because that is what I did. But it doesn't make for a great reading experience. You know what I mean? We've all read collections. We've all read, when it's too scattered, you don't really know how to find yourself in the work. And it makes it a poor experience for your reader. So take your time, make sure you're crafting work, a collection of poems that complement each other. Format those things, put them all together in one document. And then if you're looking for a press, if you're looking for a publisher, you're gonna have to shop it around. So honestly, what I would suggest people doing first, if you're a new author, is what I did my second time around, and that's self-publishing. Self-publishing is easier now than it's ever been in the history of publishing. There's several websites that you can go to. I went through Kindle Direct Publishing, which is kind of like a offshoot of Amazon. Super easy process. Once you get everything into a document, they have some templates that you can use to create your cover, so on and so forth. They'll still get you the number that goes along with your book. So it's still very official. You can still shop it around, put it in bookstores, but you have to do all the legwork on your own. I think that's really important, because you want to know how this process goes before you get to a publisher and they're like, well, here's what we have to do. And they may or may not be telling you everything, because they want to keep more on the front end, or if it's a subsidy publishing, which basically means pay to play, they may be overcharging you, right, for the services that they're providing. So know the inner workings of it first, and I think that you can do that best by doing it, by doing it yourself. Also, if you self-publish, you can still use those poems somewhere else. Like, it's very official. You can still get it into all the places that you need to if you self-publish. But if you want to go on later and submit this collection to a press, if you want to go on later and submit certain poems to different publications, you can, because it's not considered published work, or it's considered self-published, and it's no conflict. It's no conflict with that publication or with that press. Kindle Direct Publishing, BookBaby.com. There's a few others, but those are the two that that I can remember now offhand, and have the simplest process for self-publishing. I know that was a lot. Did that answer some of your questions? Okay. Questions? Anybody? Yes. How did I first find the confidence in sharing my work? So, I guess this is more of an origin story. So I always loved writing, but when I started out, it wasn't poetry at all. At least I didn't think it was poetry. It was more like songwriting. That's kind of where I just kind of fell in love with writing initially. I have a musical family. My grandmother and her sisters had a gospel group that would go and tour at these different churches. I would kind of tag along with them, and I really wanted to write for them. I was 6. I was I was 6 at the time. I'm like, they're the most famous group in the entire world. And I was like, I'm gonna write for them. I'm gonna write all these writing all these great gospel songs, and we're all gonna be famous together. And that did not happen. But that's where I fell in love. I fell in love with songwriting first, and so then I learned about later. I learned about like R&B and soul and jazz and rock music, and I fell in love with a ton of country songs, and which just has like these really like gripping stories, especially in country music. I know we like sometimes, particularly if you're really younger, like you always like shade country music, but country music has some of the best storytelling that you'll find in songwriting. So I fell in love with the storytelling aspect of it, right? And so then I was writing more of that. I was writing more songs that kind of lended itself to more storytelling. I didn't even really discover poetry, honestly, until like later in like either middle school or like late elementary. And so then I started writing poems. Wasn't taking it that seriously. I was still heavily into songwriting. I loved rap music. I wanted to like write more raps, do more hip hop stuff. I stumbled into poetry. By the time I got into high school, I had an English teacher. Shouts out to English teachers. Yes, we need you. I had an English teacher who loved poetry and was getting us to do a lot of assignments centered around like poetry and spoken word. I was showing her a lot of the stuff that I was creating even outside of the classroom, and she was like, "Oh yeah, this is really good," or "If you change this, this is gonna sound a little better." And then she would encourage me to do like these like poetry cafe things that would happen at the school, and it got a great reception. Like I found a home in it, I found a voice in it, and I was able to be a little more vulnerable in it than I had been able to in other mediums, in other genres. So then that was my junior year of high school. So then I fell in love with it then. And then after I graduated, I found open mics, I found writing workshops, where I found a community of people who also felt the same way, were also willing to be vulnerable, was sharing these really like heartfelt stories about what they had experienced in these very creative and very artistic and poetic ways. And I found a voice in that. I found a community was really supportive. I found my village, and that's where I really started to take it seriously. I was about 18 or 19 by the time that happened, and then I just never looked back. Once I got a hold of it, I found so much peace in it that I was like, this is where I want to be. Any more questions? And I think we have to, no time? Cool. Well, I appreciate you. Thank you for everything that you have contributed today. I absolutely love this experience. Thank you for having me, and I hope to see you all soon.
Hey, y'all. Let's give it up one more time for Roscoe Burnems, can we? I have some announcements I've been asked to make. Also, I'm in charge of the festival and should have asked myself. Thing one, Roscoe Burnems is going to have books to sell in the cafeteria, and I think he'll sign them down there if you buy one. So if you've already got one because you're smart and you already picked one up, they're down there. Please show him some support, and then you can take it home with you, which is beautiful. There are also raffle tickets for sale and a lot of baked goods that you can still get. If you would like to read a book for the Cabell First Novelist Award, there are very few left. Those books are free. You just have to review them. Connie, will you sign books in the cafeteria? Connie Bewald is still here. If you saw Connie earlier today, her books are also available, and she will sign them. So 2 authors, but also here in a little bit, like 5 to 10 minutes. So you gotta move. Actually, we've got to reset the stage, so it'll be a little longer than that. Maggie Steveotter will be here on this stage, who's a really lovely. I've been talking to her earlier. She writes fiction, YA fiction. She's got a #1 New York Times bestseller, which I don't. You probably learned some things hearing from her. So come on back. Go get a drink. Buy books from Connie and Roscoe, and then come back into this room. We want you back. Thanks, everybody. More applause for these guys.